Hi everyone, my name is Feng Chen and I am the group leader for Group 4. I will be summarizing Chapter 1 of the book Coercion and Its Fallout by Murray Sidman. This chapter discussed the different forms of coercion and that many of these forms look like threats or punishment. An example of an everyday coercion by parents would be eat your vegetables or go to your room. Another example of coercion from a licensed practitioner would be stop smoking or die of cancer. Although both examples take the form of instructions as warnings, they are negative in their approach. Sidman emphasizes that if we tell people what to do instead of what not to do, then people will more likely accomplish the intended instruction. He expresses that people respond to coercive instructions or advice such as these by avoidance or escape. This reveals that even though the parent or physician's instruction had well intentions, it was a threat to the person receiving the instruction. Sidman also emphasizes that coercion plays a significant impact in relation to our interactions with each other. In fact, coercion has its roots in our interactions with the physical environment. The next subtitle, The Hostile Environment, Sidman discusses how we were first introduced to coercion. The physical environment or nature served as a prime example of coercion. The environmental conditions, such as weather, threaten our existence, and in turn, we respond by taking shelter, storing food, and protecting ourselves against the environmental forces. Although we cannot assume intent from the physical environment because it is an impersonal entity, our prior experiences and history with the environment reminds us that we have to take warning signs from the environment if we are to survive. As much as the external environment coerces us by threatening our physical habitat, Sidman also describes internal forms of coercion, such as our physical ailments that results in sickness or death. These physical ailments make us biologically dependent. They come in the form of disease, sexual reproduction, and drug and alcohol use, which threatens to consume us and results in deficiencies in the human population. These threats don't go away, and so in order to protect ourselves, we build hospitals and medical buildings. However way we combat the external and internal forces of coercion, we often fail to recognize how the physical environment shapes our actions. Much of our financial expenses go towards paying specialists to fix leaky roofs, repair infrastructure damages, and insurance companies. Our environmental and internal conditions coerce us to behave in a way that exhausts our time, energy, and resources in order to preserve our kind. In the end, we are not guaranteed lifelong protection, and we are constantly threatened with both environmental and internal forces for our survival. Since our internal and external environments occur at such a high frequency, we often fall prone to rationalize and normalize these conditions and call it life. The environmental conditions or natural disasters are often acts of God, and we somehow adapt to that rationalization. The next subtitle, The Hostile Community, Sidman starts off saying that the physical conditions may have very well shaped us by conforming in our social spheres. In the social community, this translates to using punishment as a method to teach and discipline individuals with developmental disabilities. This teaching of using punishment has been normalized so much that classrooms that are absent of punishment are not normal. In this sense, society has become widely accepted and normal. In this sense, social coercion has become widely accepted and normal. In cities, it has become second nature that people have to take precautionary measures such as locking their doors, carrying a pocket knife, and locking car doors in order to protect ourselves. People who disobey the law are punished and put behind bars for their social misconduct. Similarly, in the school systems, children are punished if their report cards reflect poor grades. However, children receive little recognition if they do well in school, and citizens receive little to no praise if they obey the laws. In the workplace, we are constantly lectured for work done poorly and overlooked for our good deeds. These threats of punishment are a normal, everyday practice, whether it is in the legal system, educational system, or workplace environment. In the school system, good grades are often seen as avoidance of bad grades, instead of functioning as a reward in and of itself. Students would also escape from attending schools as much as possible, which results in teachers implementing more coercive ways of discipline instead of changing the method of instruction. Coercion is also seen in families and begins at the infant stage. Infants are punished and scolded if they get into things they shouldn't be getting into. Parents don't communicate as often as they should with their children, only to reprimand for bad behavior. We learn coercion at a young age, and it has become normalized for us. These forms of coercion are occurred because alternative methods have not been used. Sidman argued and expounded on B.F. Skinner's concept of freedom. The concept is that freedom does not have any special qualities, and if all of our needs were met, then we would not need freedom from want. If we did not struggle to attain any of life's necessities, then we would not have fought for freedom of speech, freedom of rights, and etc. Skinner argued that if we were never enslaved to something, then our freedom for that thing wouldn't need to be addressed. And so my open-ended question for you guys is, this chapter talked about many forms of coercion. In your life, where have you experienced coercion? If you can't provide an example in your life, you can also provide one that you have witnessed through family members or friends. Thank you for watching.